All right, so amazing film. You can tell by the audience's reaction. It was just so moving, laughter. For me too, I was kind of, at certain points, I was thinking on my own life, and it made me like just look at why I'm doing the things I'm doing. So I have some questions kind of linked to that. My first question is, I love the part with the main character and their grandma, and then the style, like the art form where there's no audio, like when they're talking, and then it shows the text on screen. So I was curious, for that specific part, did you always know that was the style you wanted to show, or did that come about after reviewing the footage, just out of curiosity?
The silent film part.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, we shot it normally,
Yeah.
but a very simple reason, just in the editing room, because due to the nature of the film being a no-budget film, or obviously it's a very dialogue-heavy film, that was obviously clear from the beginning. But at some point, I felt like it was getting boring to watch for myself, and it was just him again going somewhere and talking. I felt like we need to do something to wake the people up, like get some new input, audiovisually new input. So we came up with the idea with the silent film part, and because that's when I felt like it was getting dull around that time.
Yeah, I love that when it said, "Do you need money?" So yeah, my follow-up question, similar to what I was mentioning previously, there's a lot of deep themes as well. So at one point there was a conversation about how are you impacting the people through your work, through your line of work. It made me reflect on my own life. I'm just curious, is that something, do you have all these insights that you've kind of developed throughout the years, or did you kind of create those for the film? Just out of curiosity, like where did that come from, those deep kind of introspective realizations? Yeah.
I mean, that film really is a self-portrait, to be honest. I mean, it's me, just music. I don't do music, I do film, but I hope that many people that do art can relate, because it can be really tricky, and sometimes you don't reach the audiences you would like to reach, and you question yourself, like, what's the worth of all this? And obviously, at the end of the day, I keep thinking that even if you just reach a few people, it's worth it. But yeah, it's just my own thoughts, my own insecurities, and reflections on what I do.
I appreciate that. So we'll move on to the music. So obviously, love the compositions that you created. One of my questions is, obviously, as I love speaking to musicians as well, how do you know when you've finished the score? Because there's so many, I feel as a musician, you might feel like you want to add something or take it away. What is your way of knowing that it's complete? Because what we saw was amazing. Just, yeah, question for you.
Yes, well, thank you very much. I suppose the short answer to the question is when the director says so. That's it.
Plain and simple.
The long answer, I think, looking back at it, when it's all together at the end, and frankly, it would be fantastic to be able to screen it on a big screen, and yeah, the big fantastic system that we have today. So that's when you really feel the final details and are they finished or not. So I think a final watch through for me personally, and to have David on my side as well to help, and I guess the experience and the intuition will tell you, this is done.
Yeah, and follow-up question, how long did it take to make each composition? Are we looking at like a month, a couple weeks? Did you have some previously made and maybe altered them? Just out of curiosity.
So this was all residence for cinema before the film.
Yeah, for the film, yeah.
Yeah. So there was so none of the original music was in existence from my part, but obviously we used the main entertainer theme that was there by Scott Johnson.
Yeah.
Which we then took a sort of a guideline, but we had probably a few weeks to do it. I thought this was a relatively straightforward moment with David, because it just sometimes it just flows naturally.
So naturally, yes.
That was one of them. So it didn't take very long.
Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, now for the star of the show.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you. So amazing job, incredible performance. My question for you would be, how did you come into the role of being because I just found you hilarious, to be quite honest. I thought you did an amazing job. Is that something that's natural? Is that part of your personality? How did you get into that role? Because it just felt so organic.
Yeah, well, the style of shooting, I guess, sort of dictates a lot the performances from everyone, really. Yeah, we were, we had quite a lot of key locations that we found, but it was quite sporadic, and we obviously had Catherine and Mehdi and David worked on the script, but we had a little bit of improvisation here and there and stuff. So, yeah, I guess I used to be in a band years ago, like probably about 10 years ago, with my friends. We didn't really amount to anything, but it was just the sort of thing that we did with our, just as mates, just making music.
Yeah.
So obviously bringing that to the role was important, and yeah, I could sort of relate to it on that level. But yeah, I don't know. I just probably just funny to look at. Do you know what I mean?
Not at all.
So, she.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
appreciate it. But yeah. Don't know. Yeah, no. So
Is this natural?
yeah, it's just naturally coming. Honey face is well. So
Quick follow-up question. What was your favorite location to film on? Like, was there a location where you really felt complimented the character? Did you have a favorite place to film?
I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I really liked filming at we filmed at a music venue called Earth, and we used quite a few different things. Really, there was the sort of theatre piece, with Heloise, and it was the toilets and stuff like that. So it was kind of it's such a great building to work in because it's so like multi-purpose and everything. And yeah, it's nice to be inside and warm a bit, yeah. Winter Wonderland, that's quite fun actually.
Of course, yeah.
Dodgers, that's good. Yeah, I think the look of this film's like really unique in a way. I mean, it's great to see like London in this sort of way, and he doesn't see it like that too much in films. So I don't know. But yeah, I think there's quite a variety, isn't there? There's quite a variety of spaces and stuff. Don't know what you guys. Do you have a favorite?
We're working with Alex says. Yeah, there's a very good plan in there. Pass it back to David. Yeah.
I guess favorite location.
Favorite location. From a director's perspective, yeah, Winter Wonderland was funny because everything we shot, we basically just walked in, and there's like even a top guy who organized all the locations. Some of them he couldn't, right? Like he just couldn't organize Winter Wonderland, so we just like to walk in and just shoot until they caught us, which they did after a few hours. And I remember she asked me, do you have a permission to shoot? I was like, no. She was like, okay, you have to go. I was like, okay, can we finish the shot? She was like, okay. She was just standing there waiting for us, and then we finished and left. It was, nice. I don't know. It's just the spirit of this film. Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows you, right? I appreciate your honesty too, just telling them, no, we don't have permission. But I feel as though maybe she appreciated that honesty and let you finish. So it's just good for learning about person-to-person skills. So I know everyone here is taking their own little tidbits. But no, really
Just walk in. Just walk in.
Just walk in. So now we'll open it up to the audience. Are there any questions? Yeah, your hand shot up quite quickly.
Okay, hi. I really appreciate the film. If I can, David, before saying some questions, I would like to share a little feedback, if I may. And first of all, I think I know of many actors who had a background as a musician, the musicians from Johnny Depp to Anthony Hopkins, and many others. But it's easier to find actors with a background in music than the other way around. For some reason, I don't know why. Then I appreciated the black and white, this British method, which is in contrast to the landscape, such as viewing the cars, because the cars are modern, sad, and they are gorgeous with that. And also on the same topic, on the visual, my career started as a set degree dynamic in actor, musician, and so. Anyway, I saw a visual reference when the character is in the coffee shop and going in the scene, just doing, is writing something. Is that by Mouse from Art Spiegelman?
Did you put on purpose take this version to mouse or that's stupid?
Yeah, I drew. Well, it was meant to be like this. You mean in the mask? That's what the sort of the guy wearing a shirt.
The mask probably reminds me of there's a MetaMask, the MetaMask icon. Also talk about crypto. MetaMask icon quest is this box which is done with the same kind of design. But there's also a kind of mouse which is a mixture of a mouse of the Euro drawing.
It's not really a fox.
I think it's just a really bad drawing of Fox. There's really. But it's yeah, it is meant to be like the box mask basically. Like I think that's the thing. Like Joe's trying to create. I mean, we discussed this a bit before. I'm trying to create a persona, like a sort of an idea of, you know, he's running out of ideas of who he's trying to be, and I think that was important to bring that with sort of like a sense of like stuck and not being able to create anything new and sort of borrowing from things and, you know, just not really, just not being able to like create any sort of new kind of stuff, new music, and you know, he was once really into sort of guitar music with David's character, and now he's trying to go into like synth. So he's not really where he should be at, like where he's still trying to find what his music is. So that doesn't answer your question. It was really bad drawing of Fox. Totally amazed. But yeah.
Sorry, one last thing. I noticed the scene, the basket scene is central line. I think the one is probably frugal. It's well shot, but it's probably frugal and without permission. Is that correct? The basket scene where there's a guitar display.
Yeah. Ah, yes.
We know the basket.
Yeah. That was.
No, we know the basket.
But you didn't have the permission.
No, we didn't have permission for nowhere. the bus driver.
Basket.
On the train.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Playing the.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I guess I have you say so.
I think there was a question in the corner there.
The casting in the film was really on point, particularly Joe's wider family, his mum and his grandmother. What's your process there?
It was pretty much finding Alex, and then Alex was the casting director. Pretty much. I think a few people I found myself, but Alex would just come up with ideas for this character and that character, and because he's so well connected, luckily, he always nailed it. So you should look into casting directing, by the way. Yeah. So it was really, he brought the people pretty much.
Alex, so how did you find the grandmother? That's always tricky to hearing older people for films.
She was great, Nanette, really lovely woman. We just had one day, as you saw in Brighton, to do that, and you know, she.
Where did you find her? I think.
How did we find her physically, or how did I find her? Sorry. Yeah.
I think that one. I think I found her. Yeah.
But how I found her, yeah, she was really lovely and really.
We found her in so many ways.
And yeah, you know, I can't remember how long we were shooting that one scene for, but it was probably a couple of hours, wasn't it? And it was cold. And she just, you know, never complained, like, and you know, and I felt obviously quite like, you know, responsible because she is quite elderly. But she was fantastic, and yeah, just really fun.
Great question. Yeah, in the middle, lots of questions.
Thank you. You mentioned that the film briefly represented yourself and himself as a musician, as a director instead. And in the film, you had a student. I was wondering, did you ever have a student that you had to mentor yourself? And if so, where is he nowadays?
Oh wow, no, I don't. I've never had a student. I've never taught. That part is not me.
All right, I think there was one in the top right.
Just a bit of feedback. From the narrative, I found it really poignant, the messages that were kind of being provided in terms of Like he was Joe. Unfortunately, was depicted as the sort of tragic lost cause, but it's later revealed that he actually does have real talent, and there's obviously constant pushback throughout the film where people are trying to say that he doesn't have any talent, he's just a lost cause. But it's like it's a sort of message to society as well, isn't it? Where it's like, don't give up hope, because you have to believe in yourself, especially in like the film world as well. Like, you don't know who your audience is. Sometimes they might not necessarily be on your side or have the same outlook or want you to succeed, but you have to kind of believe in yourself. If you have a real passion and real drive to get a message out there, then you should follow your heart. And sorry, it really spoke to me this film. I really feel like I'm going too deep. But like Alfie, for example, in the film, he made comments like, you know, who do you think you are? Sort of thing, like how many people do you think you've touched? But it was very evident that he had touched Alfie's life and made changes, and how the people surrounding Joe pertain to not be moved. Many were moved. So it was really interesting. It's like, just out from feedback from the filmmakers behind it, what were the messages you were trying to put out there?
I don't like have a list of messages when I approach something, but pretty much I can say that during that time I was just questioning a lot myself, like what I actually do, or if it's actually really worth it, working in film or like pursuing this career. And I have it on and off all the time still, like sometimes I have good years, good projects that do things for me, and sometimes I feel like nothing's really happening for me. So
I came more from that situation, a position of frustration, hopelessness, doubt, and then you develop a story, but you don't really think, or I don't think of like a list of things I want to come across or get across, but it goes definitely in this direction.
Yeah, no, I thought it was brilliant. It was really good. And also, I think like there were lots of inferences throughout, which I thought were really cleverly done. Like, I think was in the Chippy shop where they made comments about potential war. And like there's just constant comments throughout, like trying to suppress someone's talent. And it's like, maybe actually it's art that is needed right now to kind of, it was like a bit of a juxtaposition. I thought it was really clever, really good.
Thank you very much. Great, thank you. With the black t-shirt.
Thank you, UW people. An amazing film, and like I reiterate what she said earlier. There was a lot of poignant moments, a lot of things that were brought up. Editing wise, it was such a lovely exposition of London, and of Alex's and the journey, and a lot of you can relate to that. And there's also some, like the cleaner, some amazing performances. So your casting process was amazing, and just having it just be so relevant to people going through stuff, but also not taking themselves too seriously, and remembering that it's not just about what the end result is, it's about your friends and who you're with and how you get there.
Thank you very much for coming.
Welcome.
Amazing. All right, a final round of applause for the entertainers.